I'm just going to be really quick. I want to introduce Fabio. So a few years ago, I started following Fabio on LinkedIn. He was very popular. He's an influencer. He probably hates that term. He's a good-looking guy. He has nice bangs. He has these cool videos. But one of the things that he taught me and probably everyone that follows him is that it's so important with your brand. It's not creating a story. It's not making up anything. It's just kind of falling into who you are as a person. And he does have a course that he does offer. And to me, it's worth every cent of the course because I've been stealing material off of him for the last 3 years, and it's completely helped me with my career. And I can't believe there's a room full of people looking for jobs and nobody's sitting right beside the recruiter in the front row. But
I know.
we'll let that slide. So now to introduce Fabio. Thank you so much.
I didn't know I had bangs, but that's a first. All right. Do a quick test here. There we go. All right, so today, how is everyone doing today, by the way? Doing well? Okay, you know what's funny? I totally know your industry, but and I can totally empathize that I'm like, this is going to be an interesting crowd tonight. Because I'm like usually in front of marketers, like, yes, let's do this, LinkedIn. And I'm like talking about like AML, right, like anti-money laundering people. I'm like, I know you because I'm also in the banking industry as well. I have sort of a background in the banking industry, but more on the marketing side. But I have to take those anti-money laundering courses every single year. So today, I'm super, super glad that every single one of you are in this room because this is a topic that not only am I passionate about, but I really, truly believe that every single person needs to really play out in their lives, especially in their careers. So today I'm really going to talk about starting, scaling, and absolutely crushing it on your personal brand with regards to LinkedIn. And a lot of people don't really understand LinkedIn. It's one of those sort of misconception platforms. So I guess number one is hands up who has a LinkedIn profile. Okay, that's like, I think like 95% of the room. Now, how many people have logged into LinkedIn this week? Good. Awesome. Then you're the minority, and I'm going to talk about some stats which is going to blow you away. So, number one of the biggest things about LinkedIn is it is your personal brand, right? And so the first question I have is, what in the world is a personal brand? So, like, when you think of the word personal brand, what words come to mind? Anyone? Any word or phrase?
Identity.
Identity, cool. I love that one. Identity, unique. Capabilities, cool. Exactly what you're known for, what you're capable of doing. What else? First thing that comes into a person's mind when they think of you, your name, when it comes up. Awesome. Love that. What else?
Lasting impression.
Lasting impression, cool. First impressions and then lasting impressions. What else?
Perception.
Perception, exactly. Your perception of how people, portray you in your career. And this goes on every day. Like, you go to work, you're putting in the time, and, your boss or colleagues, people know you about what your brand. That's sort of like your identity. I know that word kind of came up. So I'm going to identify that just a little bit. You see, Jeff Bezos talked about, when he talked about personal branding, and a lot of people do talk about it. He said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it's so true. It's like, what does that person say? What do those colleagues say? Do they leave that impression like, you know what, Sally? She's just so warm and inviting. She just has an infectious personality every time she, talks to us or presents her idea, and I just love that. Maybe she doesn't hear that, but that's that impression that people have of you, especially when you're not in the room. And I love that quote. Another one by Gary Vaynerchuk, who's one of my favorites, especially in the world of personal branding. He said, "It's important to build a personal brand because it's the only thing you're going to have. Your reputation online and in the new world, the business world, is pretty much the game. So you've got to be a good person. You can't hide anything, and more importantly, you've got to be out there at some level." And I think a lot of people aren't out there at some level. In a world where you have everyone talks about job security in your careers, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. What you can guarantee is how you control the perception of your personal brand in the online space, and especially in 2019 today. And then Tim Ferriss, I love what Tim Ferriss brings to the table. He's a podcaster, he's the author of the 4-Hour Workweek. He says, personal branding is about managing your name. even if you don't own a business, in a world of misinformation, disinformation, and semi-permanent Google records, going on a date, chances are that 5-8 has Googled your name, and then going to a job interview, ditto. Like, how many people have done that if they're going to a job interview or something and they know the boss's name, they Google that person right away? Okay, so do you think they're doing the same thing to you? Yeah. So, in a world of information at your fingertips, especially with not just LinkedIn, but anywhere, this is very, very important that people do the same thing on LinkedIn, especially not just for your name, but also for your company as well. And so, today I'm really going to show you how to start, scale, and crush your personal brand without spending hours of time, hundreds of dollars, or on dozens of platforms. Because I think that's one of the things today that really people struggle with. Like, I got to be everywhere, and I don't have the time to do it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how to sort of start, scale, and crush your personal brand with LinkedIn. I'm excited to show you that. This is the platform. I've been on LinkedIn for probably 5 years now, but have really gone hard at it and put a real strategy in place in the last 18 months. And it's incredible to see some of the results that I've had because of getting involved on the platform. So I'll talk about that. So how many people are ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, cool. Awesome. So my name is Fabio. No, that's not me. How many people know who this guy is, by the way? Okay, you know who that is. That's the Fabio. So, before I got into the LinkedIn game, I was a model and I had to shed the long locks, and that was good. So, just joking. That's actually me. I've built one of the most engaged LinkedIn communities on the planet. I've reached more than 7 million people in the last 12 months with content, not spending a single dollar. Won a top 40 under 40 business achievement award in my city. I was a guest on multiple top 100 podcasts on iTunes. 2 of those that were in the top 100. And mentioned in top publications like Amazon Spectator, Forbes, and Social Media Examiner. And prior to 18 months before I was on LinkedIn, nothing. So had the opportunity to be also featured by some amazing top influencers, if you know some of their names. Miguel Forbes, the co-founder of Forbes.com. Met him on LinkedIn, was able to have a conversation, chat with him, and build a relationship with him. Same thing, Dan Locke, amazing Canadian entrepreneur. And then Jay Shetty, who, if you don't know Jay Shetty, probably one of the most viewed people on the entire internet today. Over 20 million followers just on Facebook alone, and over 4 billion video views collectively on his social channels. He was just on Ellen probably 3 months ago. Probably one of the most viewed people on the internet. And because of LinkedIn, had the opportunity to engage with Jay, and then amazing to be able to, just last year in Chicago, get called out by Jay at a summit in India, in Dubai, and he was talking about LinkedIn, and I didn't even know he was doing, but someone that was in that conference, probably this size, 100 people maybe, shared a photo of him sharing my LinkedIn profile. I had no idea, and it was because of the connections I made on LinkedIn. She just happened to be in the room halfway across the world. And I thought that is the power of LinkedIn right there, that a lot of people don't really realize and don't actually put the time and action and the steps to make it come to reality. So that's all the boring stuff about myself. So now I'll get into the fun stuff. So you see, I always wanted to use social media to grow my personal brand, my business, and grow as a professional, showcase myself as a professional, but I could never seem to make it work. How many people feel this way? Cool, it's okay. Like, I think a lot of people are in this boat. They're like, yeah, it kind of works. Like, kind of doing a little bit. I don't really know, how this thing's working. I want to get out there, but I don't really know how to make this thing work. And so I was in the same boat. I felt like all the gurus out there, you probably see a lot of head nods, are telling you have to be on every single social media platform. You got to post consistently. You got to be online. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. Like, I don't know. You got time for that? I'm like, I don't have a giant team of people that can do all this stuff for me. And so, I really had to think long and hard at that. And so, I was really feeling completely overwhelmed, having to start or try to keep up with all these platforms, and I was just getting overwhelmed. And I was like, okay, this isn't going to work for me. You see, I had no idea. I had no idea what the heck to even talk about. Like, what am I going to talk about online when I was posting online? I'm like, how many people have thought this? Why would anybody care about what I have to say? Like, why me? Why me? Why would anyone care about what I have to say? There's all these other people to follow. course, right? Like, but these are all the scarcity mindsets that are going on in your head as opposed to an abundance mindset. We're going to talk about that. And you see, all I wanted was just one channel. That's it. One channel that could work for me to help grow myself as a professional. That's it. Not 28, not 18, not 8, just one. If I could do that, that would be awesome. And so I started to ask myself, what is my best shot at being heard? Not multiple shots. What's my best shot at being heard? I take every platform. And so, I really looked at LinkedIn, and the reason I looked at it is for this specific reason. How many people have ever read the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy? Very few people in this room, and I really recommend that if you haven't read it, you gotta read it. And so I'm going to talk about the Blue Ocean Strategy in this context. So the Blue Ocean Strategy is essentially this. When you're jumping into, if you're in a business, if you're jumping into the business world, would you rather be on the red ocean, which is really, it's saturated, the sharks have devoured the bait already, and you put your rod in the water and nothing comes out. And you're like, you're going to keep doing that over and over and over again? Or you go to the blue ocean. Every time you put your rod in the water, a fish comes up. Every time you put your rod in the water, another fish comes up. And it's like, wow, it's because there's so much opportunity. It's unsaturated. And so I thought, okay, let's take this context into social media. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, completely saturated platforms with millions and millions of people. And I thought, what about LinkedIn? 18 months ago, nobody was posting content. Nobody was putting videos out there. Nobody was sharing anything. And I thought, there's a huge opportunity here. And I thought, if there's anything I'm going to put time and effort into, and it's still like this today, it's a blue ocean, not a red ocean. Because it's so hard for people to post on Instagram, post on social media today, and actually be heard. Put your rod in water and actually generate some sort of engagement. Now, it's not like it's impossible. It's just a lot harder than it used to be. And so LinkedIn is exactly like that. Now it's a blue ocean. And so I'm going to share a few stats, which is mind-boggling. 600 million users on LinkedIn. You're like, oh, that's a lot of people. 600 million users, 260 million people of those 600 are actually what LinkedIn would consider active. Comes right from them, which essentially means that they log in once a month. I actually asked how many people logged in LinkedIn this week, and almost every person raised their hand, which is great. So you're actually probably in the 260 million people. Awesome. So if you're at 260 million people, do you know how many people just actually create content? And I'm not talking, they're creating all these videos. They're just sharing Forbes articles. They're just sharing anything in their industry. They're sharing anti-money laundering article or whatever. Just sharing something. 3 million people do that. That's it. Out of 260 million people that are actually on the platform consistently every single month, 3 million people are creating content. And that doesn't even mean it's good. So I actually went to LinkedIn headquarters here in Toronto and asked them that question. I said, okay, 3 million people are posting content. And I was getting a tour and I was like, I think that, and that's not even good. I said, you know what it is? I said probably 1% of those people are actually creating videos, creating good content in their industry. They're putting out really good, engaging, educational, entertaining, informative information that people actually want to hear and consume. And they're doing it to the right audience. I said, would you say that probably 1% of people are actually creating good content? Which would mean only 30,000 people in the world are probably really creating good content and building their communities on LinkedIn. He said, I think that's shooting probably a little high. And I was like, this is a blue ocean. There's no question about it. When you have 30,000 people really putting consistent message out there, putting a video out every single day or multiple times a week, or writing an article about anti-money laundering, you keep connecting with the right people in your industry, you're putting that content out. You're part of a very small group of people that have 600 million eyeballs looking at you. Don't you think that there's opportunity if you actually put yourself out there consistently? Yes. And I think that's what people, they don't see past that there's that opportunity. And the biggest thing about opportunity is you got to take advantage of it. Because if you don't, who knows where it's going to be in 5 years. This could drastically change the trajectory of your career, help you get into the next stage of your business, what if you want to get into that. And it could get you to places and put you in front of people that you probably never thought you would imagine. And exactly, it's done the exact same thing. You see, there are 9 billion content impressions in the LinkedIn feed every single week, and over 500 billion a year, gobbled up by only 3 million people. It's quite incredible. Like, you just divide that evenly, that's the number of actually people that are viewing content, divided by 3 million people. And it's quite remarkable. So, if there's anything to take away from today, it means that every platform has gone this way. YouTube was acquired by Google. Does everybody know that YouTube is owned by Google?
Yeah.
For $1.2 billion. Does everybody know that? Who owns Instagram? Does anyone know who owns Instagram? Facebook. You know how much they bought it for? $1 billion. Pretty good deal, actually. Do you know who owns LinkedIn? Does anybody know? Microsoft. Do you know how much they bought it for? Over $20 billion. That's 20 times more money than Facebook bought Instagram for, than Google bought YouTube for. So do you think there's probably an opportunity that they see here? Maybe the social media platform for professionals for the future. And so if they're putting an investment in, you can sure as heck believe that, they know that there's opportunity in this area, and it was underutilized because it was a resume platform connecting with recruiters, and all those things are bad. But then they started changing and saying, what if we made it into a social media platform where people could share content about their industries, the things that they're doing for work, the things that they're doing for business, the things that they're passionate about? What if we made it into that? And that's what it's starting to turn into today. It's probably why you're seeing video, and you're starting to see things on the platform. So, and like I said, 3 million people, and that doesn't even mean it's good. So the main thing you gotta realize is you have to leverage underpriced attention. When it comes to a time like this, it doesn't look like it's gonna be like this in 5, 7, 10 years. Because if you don't know what Facebook was like 7 years ago, it was exactly like this. Some of the biggest brands in the world took advantage 7 years ago when Facebook decided we want to start putting organic reach in front of people so you can start growing your communities. That's exactly what LinkedIn's like today. So that's the beauty of the platform right now. You see, it was clear to me, business owners today, professionals today, were not capitalizing on the fastest growing social media platform in the world. They just weren't. So I dove right into LinkedIn. I said, okay, we're doing this thing. And now I did a lot of things like really, really wrong. Like most people, this was me. Throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded, no idea what the heck I was doing. How many people probably feel like this sometimes? They're like, I'll just throw it, we'll just post it and see what sticks. You ever hear that term before? Because they don't know what works, right? So that's why you got to start understanding, who to connect with, what works, what's not working. And so, you see, I did a lot of things right, though. And that really comes from really spending literally hundreds of hours on the platform. And I really realized, I said, this is the platform I'm going to start focusing on. I'm going to spend a lot of time on it and understand exactly how it works. And so you see, LinkedIn can become a powerful source of traffic, career leverage, and industry influence. It can do the exact same sort of thing for you. When you start seeing numbers through your own profile, when you're seeing invitations from over 4,000 people, you're seeing people viewing your profile over 18,000 times, these were numbers that I never thought I would ever imagine, right? And there's a lot of opportunity when you start realizing that instead of you going to other people, instead of you trying to reach other people, what if you created a strategy where people came to you? Right? Flipping it around and saying, what if I created such good value in my industry that people wanted to talk to me as opposed to the other way around? And that's how you gotta spin it. And so that's when you start realizing that by connecting with the right people in the industry, putting the right content out there, by engaging other people, getting to know other people, and really putting your face out there, especially when you're sharing good value in your content, these are numbers that absolutely can happen for you. Putting videos, content out there, reaching 60, 100,000, 200,000 people on, how many people are in this room? 100. I think, how many people sit in Scotiabank Arena? 18,000. Right? It's like speaking to people, an entire arena full of people, simply because you're putting yourself out there. And I think that's the reality is, being able to reach this many people, to engage this many people, is such an amazing, is on such an amazing platform, opens that opportunity for you. Because you could go, how many people can you message in a day? Maybe 100? You're like, okay, I'm done. But what if 100,000 people saw you speaking about a topic of value? Now that's way more powerful. That's saving you time, saving you energy, and it's giving you leverage in the marketplace, especially for you in your career. And so that's when I started teaching other people, and I started, teaching hundreds of other people, dozens of other people, and continuing to teach people how to use this platform. And even someone, I wanted to share one of my students, Payal, she's in Singapore. You're like, oh, why would anyone listen to me? I'm in like AML, FinTech Financial Crime Compliance Lead. Like, she started posting content. She's literally in that industry. As soon as she started posting videos, content, she started getting amazing engagement. People wanted to hear from her what she had to say, and getting amazing engagement. You see people started viewing her profile. I was amazed that it shows you that it's not every single those specific industries. It can happen right in your specific industry, right here in Toronto. You can connect with people around the world. It doesn't matter wherever you want your business or your professional career to take you. You can take it anywhere in the world if you want to connect with the right people. You see, I really realized that you can connect with anybody you want to in the entire world. The entire world. I thought, LinkedIn's like it's like the backdoor entrance. Okay? Try to email somebody. How many people try to email somebody? Never got a response back. Hands up. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Right here too. Yeah. So I realized, LinkedIn's like the backdoor entrance to meeting some of the most incredible people in the world. And I thought, it can't be that easy. You just kind of message them, maybe share a good piece of value, go through their content and pinpoint a specific video or a piece of content or something the comment that they made and call that out in a personalized invite. See how it goes. I started connecting with amazing people. You can connect with CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, literally because you're reaching out to them of pure value, and then you go and message them. You can send video, you can send voice notes, you can stand out and be different. And I thought, if I could reach the co-founder of Forbes.com, never having to talk to him before, I thought that I can reach anybody in the entire world, really. And I thought he's probably a pretty busy guy. So, I think that LinkedIn's still that platform where people use it and they hold it very close. It's a very personal platform because it's their career, that people aren't handing that off to somebody else. That's that CEO that's sitting on the couch in the morning having a coffee, scrolling through their LinkedIn, and they see a message from you. That's the type of person I believe that's on the platform. And so I know that because of Payal's success, that it can work for people in your industry as well. And so here are the steps that you need to take as a professional on LinkedIn. That if you're like, I don't know anything about it today, or I'm like, I just log in once a month, I kind of scroll, I see my 2 or 3 little red bubbles, I'm like, ooh, look at notification. And then I just check it, and then I'm gone. Like, here are the steps that you really need to start taking, okay? Step 1, you need to, number 1, replace scarcity mindset with abundance mindset. So you need to start getting rid of, like, who would actually listen to me? Like, why me? Like, LinkedIn? Nah. Like, what's my boss going to say, right? Like, you're probably thinking of these things. What if people don't care what I have to say? What will my boss think? Will I get fired if I start posting content in my industry? Like what are they going to think? I'm scared of what people will think of me. My family, my colleagues, my friends. They're going to be like, who are you? You're like posting content? Writing? You're writing in your industry? How many people think that sometimes? Be honest. Sure, I used to think that too, and I'm like, why do people think that? What do I have value to say? Like, I've only been in my career X amount of years. There's people that have like 30 years of experience. Maybe I'll just leave it to them. You have value to share. You have things that you've learned that you can pass along, and you don't have to have some amazing story. Some like, oh, I hit rock bottom, and look where I am today. I don't have that story. For me, I'm just an average guy, and I'm like, okay, I'll post stuff about my industry that I think is good value. And I think that's where most of the people in this room's story is. Like, you're like, I'm just trying to work. I'm just trying to work. I'm just trying to make a living for myself. I'm just trying to advance in my career. That's all I'm trying to do. And so I can empathize with that because that's my story too. And so step 2 is, so once you get rid of scarcity mindset, you're like, abundance mindset. I can do this. I believe I have what it takes. I don't know what yet, but I know I have what it takes to get to that level. And I'm going to try as hard as I can. I'm going to connect with the right people. And I'm going to find what I want to talk about. So step 2 is you need to identify what it is that you want to be known for. You're like, what do I want to be known for? What do I want to talk about? Like, what do I want my brand to be? Or see that perception of me when they're like, hey, you're the guy who talks about this. You're the person that always shares good information in the finance industry. Yeah, you're the person that always talks about great ways this organization can, Be risk adverse. It's like, I never thought about some of those ways. Sure. You talk about great career advice. As a young professional, you're great in terms of you share amazing content of like, you came to Canada and you're a new immigrant to Canada, and you just share some amazing tips of how you got that job, how you landed that career, how you really made a name for yourself and stepped out in your industry. Like whatever that is, whatever you want that story to be, or whatever it is you want to be known for, you need to identify what it is you want to be known for. Next. Then optimize your profile. So, you got your profile. We talked, someone in the room earlier said, don't have that headshot that's like blurry or whatever. It's like, you're in the bathroom, your selfie or something, right? Yeah. So, or your cover photo is like the city of Toronto skyline. Maybe people in here look at the change. Right? So, you need to portray yourself as a thought leader in your industry. Just assume it. Even if you're not that, just assume it. Be like, I have what it takes. I know I have good value to share in my industry. I'm going to portray myself as a leader who I believe I have value to share, that can start posting and sharing knowledge in my field and for my career. This is my career. I can do this. Portray yourself as that thought leader. I don't want you to have underneath your name anti-money laundering specialist for TD Bank. I don't know, I just thought something. You should say, that's your job, for sure, that's going to go below. But you should have, finance professional or something like that. Like, anything regarding like your passions. Finance, anti-money laundering leader. Right? Like, I put top 49 and 40 winner. I happen to win that award. I help people grow their brand and business on LinkedIn. I tell people how I help people. Marketing and brand strategy, speaker, and then I have a hashtag, which is sort of my signature that people know me for, how they can search me, that sort of thing. There's nothing in there that you wouldn't even know that I work for Meridian, right? I do talk about that. I also talk about how I, share personal brand strategy and LinkedIn content. All in my about section, it's in my header, but people need to get to know you right away. You are more than just your job title. You are. And it's like, yeah, I am more than my job title. That's not what defines me. What is it that defines me and what it is I want to be known for? And so once you get that nailed down, you need to also talk about, how do you want to visually represent yourself? So you need a great headshot, first of all, for sure, because you don't realize when you're commenting, when you're anything, that little bubble is posting is everywhere on LinkedIn. And you need to be recognizable. And you need to have it front and center, like not a body shot, because people are like, what is that thing? I don't know, is that a person? So front center, full face, cover the photo. And then the next is the top, your cover photo. Like, what do you want people to portray and see you as? I have multiple different photos up here. I got photos done, a couple of me speaking, because it shows, I want to put myself in the light of, credibility, trust and credibility. When people see my profile, I want them to be like, oh, I have to connect this person with this person, because this is someone I probably need. It's probably going to help me in my career, or I need to network with. So, absolutely, that helps. And so, you got to put yourself in the right light in terms of optimizing that profile, and then your about section describing who you are, not just your job title. Again, who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, and then if you have media, things you can mention in the media and the community, put those in there as well. Step 3, you need to identify who it is that you serve, and then you got to find them. So you're like, I don't know who it is that I serve. Like, okay, I'm in the finance industry. If I could work anywhere in the world, who would have that job? What would be their title? Who would I be reporting to? Like, think about those things. Like really think about those titles. And so think about who it is that you want to serve. Maybe it's not that next job. Maybe I just want to grow my brand, and I just want people in my industry to see my content and love what I do. Great. Then search people like yourself. Search people with your colleagues' title, people in your industry. I think a lot of people, they just have people that are like, what's your content? What's your connections look like on LinkedIn? Oh, it's like probably 1,000 people, and it's all people I've worked with, or my high school friends and stuff. It's like, well, that's not the right audience. You need to realize you got to go bigger. Everyone has a maximum of 30,000 connections. That's your max. You can't go more than that. So don't waste them, because you get 30,000 people. I'm just going to go and get lots of followers, and then, yeah, it's awesome. it's going to be terrible for you because you're not talking to the right audience. You're adding the wrong people. Every time you post a piece of content, if you added a bunch of marketers that are like, I don't know, like, this isn't really anybody laundering, no thanks. But like, if you get people that are actually interested or like, they have the right mindset, they're in that right position, they're like, oh, this is great. Those are the people you need to start connecting with. And then you get unlimited followers as well. See, how you build your community and who you build it with will ultimately make or break your success on LinkedIn. It absolutely will. I've seen people have lots of followers and reach 1% on their content. The followers mean absolutely nothing. It's the quality of the people and it's the targeted amount of people. See, the best networks are active, targeted, and influential. On the platform, they're the right audience, and they even have some influence or maybe a good following, because if they like your comment on your photo or your video, now you're reaching their network. So you're now spider webbing to their network. That's why you see second and third degree. As soon as someone likes your piece of content, you're now going to that audience. Let's say they have 30,000 followers. You're like, sweet, I have 500. I just exposed myself to 30,000 people. How many times can I do that? If I can do that to 200 of those people, 30,000 times 200. Do that. That's how you start pushing your message out there. But I like to say the best networks are both active and targeted. Influential is great. Let's start with at least active and targeted, because that's going to help really get you started. So let me show you why an active network is the most important. You see, if you don't have an active network and they're not on LinkedIn, you're like, go on LinkedIn maybe a couple times a year. Well, if you add a lot of those people, let's say you have 1,000 connections, and most of them are those people that are never on the platform. Every time you post a piece of content, this is how many people are going to see it. That's the reality. It goes to your connections. It's different than Instagram where it's your followers. It's your connections. So you can actually control who it is that's seeing it, which is great. You don't have to like find a follower or try and get people to follow you and like you. You can actually connect with the right person, and now you put value out there. Now you're creating leverage. And so, if you don't have an active connection base, that's how many people are going to see it. But if you start adding people in your industry that are on LinkedIn often, you're posting good content, and you start adding people that are regularly on LinkedIn. When they wake up in the morning, they open the LinkedIn app, grab their coffee, start finding more of those people, post a piece of content, and that's how many people are going to see it. Just do the math. You get more people to see it, more people to like or comment, and now you're reaching their networks. That's the beauty of a networking type of social media platform that LinkedIn is very unique for. And that's the advantage I believe it has. You see, targeted means nothing if your connections aren't there at all. So aim for both. So here's just a quick example of, if you've never actually searched anyone on LinkedIn before, do a quick search. You're like, I don't know how to search. Go to your all filters at the top. You don't have to have a premium or pro account for this, right? Go in. You got titles. Maybe you're like, okay, like business development. I can search for people as a vice president of business development, or a chief executive officer, or a president of this company, or whatever. Find that's a founder of this organization. Chief executive officer, okay? This is this example. In industry. Now, I'm in the marketing industry, so I love marketing and advertising, but you can do finance, banking, you name it. You can do anything, right? There's look how many different categories. Financial services, food and beverage facilities, just put a letter in, you'll see. It's amazing. Find that industry, know who it is that you serve, find that industry, check it off, or multiple. Put a location in there as well. Of course, if you want to stick to anywhere in the world, you want to go to San Francisco, great. Find people in San Francisco. I'm moving there in a year. You know what? I'm going to start connecting with the right people now. Do it. Or Toronto. Search Toronto. Click search. Boom. There you go. We have chief executive officers in Toronto right now. Look at how many people you have the opportunity to reach out to. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's an unfair advantage that a lot of other platforms don't have. And so that's the beauty of it. Second degrees, first degrees, you can search, right? People that you aren't connected with. And that's the beauty of the platform. You see, the other thing is a lot of people don't realize you got to send a personalized invite. It's pretty wild. I got a few thousand people in my inbox. Do you know how many people actually send me a personalized invite? 1%. 1%. Or hey Fabio, saw this video, or hey, I looked at your profile. Anything. 1% of people. Most people, and you're probably the same, you just hit the connect button, you just get the button happy. You're people. Dude, they're probably going to be sitting in their inbox for a long time. They're like, I don't know you. Why am I connecting? Why is this person wanting to reach out to me? But if you're like, hey, I saw that you liked this article, and I thought it was really, really important. You put a comment on it that said, that that the world of anti-money laundering is only getting worse, but there's new technology and AI that's going to combat that. I thought it was really cool, really insightful. Thanks for the great comment. Love to connect. Do you think that person's going to connect with you? Like, you have a way better advantage of doing that. Now it takes more time, but I would rather put a little bit more time and an effort knowing that I'm going to get 80% of people that are going to reply back and accept than get 10. That's the beauty of the platform, is you got to be different. You got to stand out. It's no different than someone said first impressions and lasting impressions. That's exactly it. It's no different than the business world or the world of job seekers. Step 4, you need to serve your audience with content and engage your network. Document, don't create. A lot of people are like, I got to create content. What am I going to create this week? Like, I don't know. Document. If you start documenting your life, you go to an event like this and you start like, hey, I'm at an event right now. So good. Just talk about it. Share it with someone that's there, right? Like, what did you learn tonight? Pull up your phone with someone that you're in and be like, what did you learn? Like, one thing. Oh, I learned this, this, and this. Cool. I learned this. Is awesome. Cool. Like, document, don't create. So when you start documenting, sharing your life, being more exposed to it, then you start realizing that, content creation comes out of documentation. And a lot of people get stuck on creation because they got to try and seem more unique. And, why am I going to post that's going to go viral? Don't try and go viral. Post 10 things that are going to equal one of your other posts that you took 10 hours to try and muster the courage to post. So be consistent. Create something that's educational, informative, inspirational, or entertaining. That's the 4 pillars that I truly believe helps with content. If you post something that's educational, people can learn something. Something that's informative, that's a new change in my industry. I didn't know that. Inspirational, like, wow, I'm going to do something about this. Or entertaining, like, that was really funny. Or that just like, made you laugh, or made you cry, or made you feel emotion. If you can couple entertainment with any of the first 3, you're golden. You really are. And so, some pieces of content with regards to LinkedIn. You got short form posts. If done well, gets amazing reach. Quick and easy to post. You've probably seen some of those. It's more second and third degree connections, which is good if you want to grow your network. It's a good way to ask your network a question as well, because it's quick and easy. Photos, I find actually get the worst reach and engagement, but can actually blow up with the right photo when actually done well. I had a guy in my network that I'm in a group with. He actually posted about Jeff Bezos, something about Jeff Bezos in the last year, and I think it had over 28 million views or something crazy. And he's like, I had no idea that was going to happen. But it was a photo, but he was a little edgy with it and controversial, but a lot of people wanted to comment on it. Use a photo to give a story. It gives the story more context. Again, reaches more second and third degree. You can do documents. You can share PDFs, insightful guides that you may be creating. You can share that as well. And it comes as scrolled content, which is awesome. Another new feature. Has the ability to reach a lot of people. Long form published articles. Some people like to write in here. If you like to write, and you're like, I love writing instead of video, no problem. Do some writing on the platform. You know what? Google, one of the most searched social media platforms, and one of the best for content that is indexed by Google, which means if you search anti-money laundering and you write an article and a lot of people like it, if you search anti-money laundering, you're actually going to show up a lot better on Google because it's actually a piece of content that's indexed for Google in searches. So you get more people as well that way. A lot of people don't know that, but LinkedIn is probably the best social media platform in the world with regards to data. Best data platform in terms of gathering all the information about you, what you write, and it pushes it in searches for Google. And then native and live video. Best form if you're going to actually maybe this reach as many people, but you get the chance to show who you are, your personality, and I'd say a picture is 1,000 words, but a video is 10 million. And you can't get. You can write, which is great, but you can't get that personality, your tone of voice, the inflection in your voice, the passion in your voice without video. And so we're probably, every single one of us, when we're on social media, we use video. So that's one that you got to really, really focus on as well. Because if you get through video, you're going to see a lot of opportunity come your way because people are going to start seeing you and recognizing your face. And so when it comes to content, vary your content creation versus content curation. So it's good to curate content, which is share other content and grab it from other sources and share it. But you need to start creating content yourself as well through documentation. Mobile optimized copywriting. Write in double spaces because it's easier to read. If you put on a jumbled paragraph, it's going to be harder to read. Use high impact storytelling tactics, which is essentially going to share stories. What did you learn in your life that you can share, right? Focus on the headline, use the hook strategy. So talk about something really impactful in those first 2 lines, because people are going to see that first and want to learn and read more about what you have to say. If you just start off pretty slow, people won't want to read the rest. Viral content creation is a good trending topic. So look at BuzzSumo over there. Search BuzzSumo. You can find what topics are really trending. Talk about those. Because it's working on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and that might actually work on LinkedIn. Power of tagging for maximum discovery. Tag people in your industry. Take people with good audiences, highly engaged audiences. You'll start engaging their network, because you're going to start reaching their network, but you have to give value in those moments and just tag people for the sake of tagging. Call them out. Thank them. Ask for their opinion. Avoid concept fatigue, so change it up. Don't do the same thing over and over. Use emojis to draw out emotion in your writing. I love to do that too. People are like, use emojis in your writing? Is it unprofessional? I'm like, no way. It's great. People love it, because if you add that emotion to otherwise, pretty standard text. And watch your word choice. Punctuation and grammar is very, very important, especially on a professional platform. So read it twice if you have to. And always include a call to action to your audience. And you can use the comments to do that, where it's like, hey, you want to learn more? I posted this Forbes article below. A lot of people don't know what to post. Go to anything, industry articles, Forbes, Inc. magazine, whatever, in your industry, and be like, this is a really insightful topic. I want to talk about it. And then you can tag the actual, how many people are actually writers from top publications? I talked about their article and thought it was interesting, and I gave my opinion on it, and then I tagged them, and they're like, oh, thanks so much for reaching out. Thanks for this video. This is awesome. So it was like top publication writers and people that would never have the opportunity to meet from Forbes, Inc. magazine, were like, thanks so much for featuring my article. And that's how you start getting known in your space as well. So step 5, pretty simple to stay consistent. When you're consistent, you show up day in and day out, and that's when people start seeing you, recognizing your face, and known for what you post in your industry. And I think a lot of people don't do that. So I will see you on the platform, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow, seeing you post in your industry, and I'm excited to, if I can in any way, help you get there. Thank you.